Hey, Granny, how are you? I'll be lurking. I'm at the doctor with Murphy waiting. Oh, okay. Is it on his foot? Oh, migraines. I'm so sorry. I hate that for him. I really do. Hey, Winsome, how are you? I know we go on at, we're at different times. I normally go on at nighttime, my time, and I don't usually go on during the day. I'm trying something different though. I was at one of your lives. I'm not sure if I chatted with you or not, but um, was it? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. But yeah, you're right. Prior to that, I was gone for 2 full weeks. At During that time, at one point, I wasn't feeling well, and then my power was in and out, so it wouldn't have worked to have, you know, to be doing lives. And the last time you were here, I was working on those bags. I'm still not done with them because I was sick, and then when I came back, I started on this. So I have to. I think I just have to finish the straps. I'm not sure. I probably should have worked on that right now, but I'm just going to do a quick live because I'm in the middle of other things. But I figured I'd come on here. How have you been? Just a checkup and medication refills. Oh, okay. So he's not actually sick. Okay, good. Because I know the last time we talked, he went home sick from work because of the migraine. Oh, hi, Izzy. Welcome in. You'll be lurking. Good, good. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I normally, when I drink my coffee, I know y'all hear me talk about drinking coffee like at all hours, but it's normally decaf coffee that I'm drinking. Um, but sometimes I do put a tiny bit of, I get like the instant coffee with caffeine, and because most of the time my coffee is always decaf, I just keep a little jar of the instant caffeinated coffee. And that way, if I'm needing caffeine, or you don't need caffeine, right? But if I feel that I'm needing caffeine, I'll go ahead and put a tiny bit in there. And I'm talking a tiny bit. I don't, it's like a teaspoon for like 6 or 8 ounces. Um, I don't do that. I normally have my coffee in like 20-ounce cups or something like that. Just very diluted. And if I put caffeine in a 20-ounce cup, it's normally like a quarter of a teaspoon. So just not very much at all. But I went and bought, well, actually, no, I didn't go buy, and I had in the pantry some I have to make sure I keep looking at my chat. Um, some caffeinated coffee that I needed to go ahead and use up, right? And so I divided it. I took out half of the container of coffee and put it aside. And then it was one of those big, I think it's Folgers, I'm not sure. And then I took, because I also had decaf. And so I put half and half. I'm not sure why I even did that because it might not work for me. I mean, hubby will be able to drink it. He'll be able to drink it. But anyway, so I took that big container. It's, I don't know, the big ones that they have. And so I took half of it out. And so I left half of the caffeinated coffee in there. And then I added a whole nother half of decaf and I mixed it all up because, they sell that half and half coffee. Um, and so now it's half caffeine and half decaf. And I don't know if y'all can see my hands, but they're just shaky because I'm not used to that caffeine. Because even when I drink tea, everyone, I like sweet tea, which I make with stevia and not actual sugar, natural stevia. And every once in a while, I'll go ahead and drink regular caffeinated tea, brown tea. Well, I'm in the South, so, we like sweet tea. But most of the time it's decaf, but sometimes it is caffeinated. But anyway, this half and half coffee just has my hands all jittery. I'm so not used to it, y'all. And I barely drank any. I've taken, yeah, I mean, a few sips and I can feel it that much. That's how my body is so intolerant of caffeine. Oh, Judy, I'm going to come right back to you. I'm glad you're here. Um, tell you something about your YouTube. No migraine. Just check up, making sure I'm keeping up with the chat because I was chatty these last few minutes, right? Not my usual. Greetings, greetings. Winston says, I'm sorry you haven't been well. I felt pretty down lately as well. And your comment made my day. Aw, I'm sorry you haven't been feeling well. You've been down. And my comment made your day. I'm glad. Thank you. Granny says, I put together one more row of my blanket yesterday. That's a big accomplishment. It really is. Let's see. Granny says he had another headache Saturday night. Yeah, I think that's when I was on your live and he came home early or something from work and you were worried that he may not be able to keep his job because, his foot and then his migraine. Hey, Manuela, welcome in. Good to see you. Hello, Judy. Okay, Judy, what I was going to tell you was when I woke up this morning, it showed me that you had a live, that you did a live in the middle of the night. So I clicked on it because I was going to go ahead and watch the replay, right? And you scheduled it. It should be scheduled. I'm not sure. I haven't looked in the last few hours, so I'm not sure if you changed it. But what you did was schedule it for 3 a.m. instead of 3 p.m. So you may want to update that if you haven't. And then your live for yesterday that you had scheduled is still showing as upcoming. The one that you posted that you weren't going to be able to do. Just my observations. I mean, you can take it or not, I just thought I'd let you know so that other people know when you're actually coming on and stuff like that. Because I was going to comment, I went back and I was going to comment in one of your videos and I was like, she's probably not going to see it and I'm going to just sound crazy. So I'm glad you actually popped in. And I'm actually, oh, Granny, you're going to be so proud of me. I can't believe how jittery my hands are, y'all. Like, and you could probably hear it in my voice. My voice is a little shaky. Oh my gosh. So I guess doing that half and half with regular coffee is way too much, you know, compared to my little quarter of a teaspoon of instant in a 20-ounce cup, because that's what I have right now is the 20-ounce cup. But I don't know, maybe it'll give me a whole bunch of energy though, you know. I could use some energy, which is why I decided, oh, I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. And, you know, and plus I don't want it to go stale, you know, because coffee will expire. I don't know how I get knots. I just, let's see. Hello, hello, hello. My dog was sick. Had to take him to the dog hospital. Oh, I hope he's okay. He was falling. Oh, no. Is he better now? Were they able to figure out what it was? Manila says, so sorry, Judy. Hope doggy's all right. Yeah, I know, right? Me too. Winsome says, oh, I'm so sorry about that, Judy. Hope he's all right. Judy says, they say he got a bad cold. Is he older? And so, yeah, so Granny, I got out in the garden yesterday and I had to, you know, I told you my weeds are really bad, so I had to weed 2 beds and, um, you know, turn them all up and add fertilizer. And they're 2 feet by 9 feet. So um, those are like I think those are my smallest beds. But yeah, and I got them seeded. I planted some seeds. I don't know how they'll do. It was just, I just needed, you know, I've been wanting to, and I keep avoiding it and pushing it aside. And I'm like, I really just need to get out there and do it. So we were out and about yesterday and then came home. It was afternoon. It was, you know, it wasn't dark out yet, but it was going to get dark. And I was like, I need to get out there and do something. And I actually made a little video clip. So I think well, I have to edit, you know, how that goes. But I think I'm going to get that posted sometime this week as well. But yeah, I was so proud of myself that I actually got out there and did that. So that's a big, because you know, I have been avoiding it. Like I just have been dreading working in the garden. And I mean, I even mentioned it in the video and I show it. I show the reality of it all. Like I didn't put my, you know, I didn't put my beds to sleep last year. Um, I just left them, you know, I just left the mess, which I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't, right? But I did. And that's just the reality of it. Things are always not perfect, you know? And so I did show just some of my beds, not everything, because, you know, it's a little embarrassing, you know, because I like my garden to look good, but it's real life, you know, and sometimes you just don't feel like getting out there and working, and you know your body hurts, your joints hurt, you got other things. It can be really taxing. And so yeah, so I made a little video. But yeah, I'm excited about it, and I'm probably going to go out there today. I just got my, let me look at my chat, let me stop. I pause in the middle of my sentence and then I don't come back to it, so that's normally I try to finish my thought. Let's see. So Winsome says, oh, I'm so sorry to hear. Judy says, they say he got a bad cold. Yes, he's better now. Oh, good, good. 12, yeah. Yeah. We just lost our pup in November. November 22nd of 2024. We lost her and she was 15, 16. Can't remember right now. It was time, you know, but that doesn't make it any easier. You know, it does not make it any easier, but I'm glad he's just got a cold and that he is better. And see, I stopped my, I stopped in the middle of my sentence and I don't remember what I was talking about. That ship has sailed. And Granny didn't answer me, so she's probably in with the doctor now. I know she said she's lurking. She's at the doctor's office. So maybe she didn't hear about my garden, but I will tell her maybe tonight on her live. I have so many more beds out there though that I have to get stuff done, guys. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Hey, Raising Raya, how are you? Good to see you. That baby is adorable. So I got my, happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. I got my corned beef in the roaster going, and then I will, after I get off of here, I'm going to go ahead and cut up all the cabbage and put it in the roaster as well for dinner tonight. We try to make that on St. Patty's Day and then eat it till it's all gone. It'll make food for us probably for several days. We'll have it for leftovers and keto friendly, so we're good there, right? And Winsome says, "Oh yes, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone." I know many of you have not been with me, or you don't follow me on my other channel. My other channel is a homesteading channel. Nightbot normally pops my social links, and it's in there. Yeah, it's a few boxes or a few lines above y'all. But on that channel, it's called Living Our Simple Lives. On that channel, I do homesteading. So it's not a crafting channel at all. I do gardening. I do food food prep, food preservation, um, cooking and stuff like that. So on that channel, years ago, well, 5 years today, I started my sourdough starter, and because it was on St. Patty's Day, I named him Patrick. Not very original, right? But anyway, so Patrick is my sourdough starter, and he is 5 years old today, y'all. I cannot believe I have kept him alive for this long because of the keto. I don't use him very often, but he still comes out and he gets fed and he goes, back in the fridge. But yeah, 5 years old on my sourdough starter. It's living our simple lives. If you scroll up where Nightbot dropped my link tree, it's in there. All my socials are in there. But I haven't been posting a lot there lately just because I've been trying to grow this channel. And obviously, crafting is much more enjoyable to me than the other. I mean, I do enjoy food prep, don't get me wrong, and, food preservation, but I do like the crafting. And um, I don't find a lot of time to craft. So doing the lives and the actual, like the videos, like I've been doing on this channel, allows me to craft because usually I don't have time, especially when gardening season kicks in, like now. I normally don't have time. It's like all devoted to the garden, which is why I've been avoiding my garden. Winsome says, "Oh yeah, have you checked out the bread mix?" I did look at the bread mix. I did look at some of the books as well, but I didn't purchase any because I told you I had that one new recipe I wanted to try out, which I haven't, because I'm thinking I wanted do a video on it. I want to video it, and it takes me a little while to prep to like video in the kitchen, so that if it does turn out well, I can post it on the other channel, you know. But there's actually two recipes that I want to try out. But I am going to, I did look at the bread mix, and I think I added, because they have them on Amazon, and I think I added some to my cart, just to be able to have for, because I like cooking from scratch. That's what I do. You know, I like to know all the ingredients that are in my food, and so I did add some of them to my cart, just because, you know, sometimes I don't have the time to start from scratch, you know, and so it would be great to just be able to dump that in the bread maker, you know, and a couple hours later have the bread. So I put them in the cart so that I can get them, and then I'll just have them in my pantry. And then when I want something like that, you know, I don't have to do all the prepping. There it is. But yeah, I'm so glad that you told me that, because I didn't know. I didn't know that that was a thing. I like making chicken and dumplings, and most of the time I make my own dumplings at home. But sometimes, because I, you know, I want them done quicker, I'll use, not now because of the keto, but before, I would use like the biscuits, you know, that you get in the dairy section. That one, the ones that come in the can, like the, I don't remember what they're called, but y'all know, you pop the can and then you just put the biscuits in the oven. So normally I use those for dumplings. Well, not normally. Normally I make my own dumplings, but I have used those biscuits in my dumplings before when I don't want to make dumplings, or I'm in a rush. And so I'm like, I can't wait till they make those in keto, because I really enjoy my chicken and dumplings. And I've made my chicken and dumplings with just like almond flour dumplings, but they don't hold very well. You know, they're not like the real thing that I'm used to. So that does make a difference. Raising Raya, I don't know if you're here still, but I'm going to type it in. I'm not going to put a link because I don't know. Sometimes people, if they're on their phones, they can't click on the link. But that's the other one. I don't know. It didn't let me put it in there. Oh, that's because my computer kicked me out, or YouTube kicked me out somehow. I wonder why it would do that, like right in the middle. Like, what in the world? So let me go back in here. Y'all, if you're in here, if you'd be kind enough to hit that thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it. Okay, so Nightbot just dropped the link again, my Linktree link there. But if y'all can't click on that, living. Is Winsome, if I don't, let's see, Winsome says, alrighty, I gotta go. Sorry, I'm going. Oh, I appreciate you being here, Winsome. No worries. Hope to see you soon, okay? Thank you for stopping by. If I don't make my live now, I wouldn't be able to at all. No, go ahead, go for it. See you soon. All right, and there's the spelling for that my other channel, just in case y'all can't click on the link. Judy says, bye, Winsome. Oh, See, Raising Raya, I spelled it out for you. See, y'all take wonderful care. And Judy, did you hear me earlier when I said the stuff about your live? Did, did it make sense? So y'all that are in here that don't know what I'm working on, this is what I have so far. And it is going to be a football blanket. So basically like this is the end of the football here, and then this is like the bottom, you know, like the rings at the bottom. And then as we come up, it's going to be more brown, and then the laces will start here, go that way, and then the other end will look like this, and this is a corner to corner. Thank you, Raisin Raya. I hope I'm saying it right, Raya. It might be Raya. I'm gonna lose my spot. Hey, God's Desire, how are you? Welcome in. 1, 2, 3. You're saying it. Okay, so it is Raya. Okay. I don't like mispronouncing names. Like mine is Jackie, but a lot of people call me Jackwee. So I try not to mispronounce them if I can. So yes, I was just in the middle of cooking, you know, getting my stuff started, getting my coffee, and then I was like, you know, I'm gonna sit down and enjoy my coffee, and then get up and continue doing what I gotta do, right? Because I gotta wash the cabbage and then cut it all up, and then get that in there for a few hours, and then while that's working, I was thinking about going back out on the garden and maybe starting on another bed. But I was like, I'm gonna sit down and enjoy my coffee, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and click on here and do a live, right? Talk to my buddies, see what everyone is up to. Except my hands are not wanting to crochet, y'all. I cannot even believe, and I'm gonna continue to drink my coffee. I am. I don't know if Nightbot has said it y'all yet, but if y'all want to drop your links to connect with each other, just type in the word yarn, and Nightbot will drop your link. Okay, so Raven Raya dropped yarn, so go ahead and throw some yarn at her. And so did Manuela with Lady Crochet. Let me take a sip of this coffee. God's Desire, I was telling them I made my coffee today, and I had coffee that's been in the pantry for a while. It's not expired, but I didn't want it to expire, you know, so I took one of the big containers. I think it's Folgers. I'm not sure. It might be Maxwell, but it's the one was caffeinated and one was decaf because I drink decaf. My husband drinks caffeinated, but I mixed them. You know how you can get like half and half. half decaf and half, and so I took the two and I took one and I cut it in half and then I put half of the caffeine into the decaf and I shook it up really good and I made my coffee like that this morning and that's why my hands are like all jittery because I normally don't drink caffeine. I try to stay away from it. So my coffee right now, I've only had a few sips and my hands start that jittery, but I'm going to continue to drink it because I could use the energy, especially for working out there in the yard. My mic is right there. I hope y'all didn't hear me gulping, but you probably did. God's Desire said, I just got home from the nursery getting mushroom compost, and I found a few tomato plants. I'm going to go and spend the afternoon in the garden after my lunch. See, that's what I'm thinking about doing. Thinking about drinking my coffee, doing this little live while I'm drinking my coffee. Then when I get done with that, I got to cut the cabbage, put it in the roaster with the corned beef, and then hopefully do one bed. I am glad that you're getting out there in the garden. It's good weather too, right? No rain, not too hot, not too cold. This morning it was 40 degrees here, so it was pretty chilly. But yeah, I got Desire. I was telling them a little bit ago. I got in the garden yesterday. I got 2 beds planted, or seeds in the ground anyway. It was work because I had to weed them because I didn't put the garden to bed last year. So I had to weed them and then turn it over and fertilize and then got my seeds in the ground. Only 2 beds, but hey, it's 2 beds more than I had yesterday morning, and just getting out there and doing it kind of like, I don't know, it made me feel good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed getting my hands in the soil, getting dirty. And so I'm actually looking forward to going out there today and doing maybe one bed. That bed though that I'm looking at doing today is to get peas in the ground. That's a long bed though. That's I think it's what, 2 feet by 16 feet maybe. So that one's gonna take me a little while. Well, what I did yesterday was make 2 beds, but they're 2 by 9, so that was 2 by 18, and I knocked it out in a couple of hours. So maybe it'll even if I don't get it all, if I don't finish that whole bed today, it'll be something that I'll have done in that bed, and so it'll just get me closer. Try not to like give myself anxiety over gardening, like I want to enjoy the process. And normally I put a lot of, I don't know, put a lot of work into it. I made corned beef and cabbage last week, so it's ready. Did you freeze it, or did you can it? Yeah, I was gonna start it last night, but then I was like, I'll just do it today, which I meant to start it much earlier, but it's gonna be done by dinner time. But yeah, that's nice to get it ahead of get it done ahead of time, and then you don't have to worry about it. You can just reheat it. I normally shred my cabbage. I don't think I'm gonna shred it. I think I'm just gonna. No, I don't want to cut it into wedges, but I don't think I want to shred it either. I don't know. because I do normally shred it. Hello, Gully. Welcome in. Gully, Gooly. Mm. Let's see. Granny says, like, to know, oh, I'm missing things. Raya says, nice, thanks. Hearts, hearts. God's desire said I made corn. Oh, yeah, okay, I read that one. I keep missing things. God's desire says, oh, cool, that's great. I know, right? I was so proud of myself. And I made a little video of it. Of course, I have to edit the video, so it maybe sometime this week it'll get put on my other channel, not this channel. Um, but yeah, I was excited, y'all. I was like kid out there. You know, it wasn't a lot. It was not a lot that I got done, but it's more than I have done in a long time, and it just felt good, and I felt proud of myself, and um, yeah. So, and I mean, I do like working in the garden. I just sometimes I just get overwhelmed with it, and talk myself out of it because it is hard work. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's not hard work. For a lot of us, it is hard work. Granny says, all done. That was faster than I thought. Yeah, that was pretty quick. Nightbot. Granny says, hey, Jackie, I don't know if you're aware, but Nightbot is saying that your live streams are Wednesday, Thursdays, and Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I was wondering if you wanted to change that. Oh, no, it's like right above. Yeah, it's still showing 10 p.m. Eastern. Um, but I don't want to change it yet. Last week was my first week of doing the 9 o'clock. I appreciate you pointing that out, but last week was the first time of me doing the 9, and I want to try it this week again and see how that goes before I actually like officially switch it over. But yeah, if y'all are in here and Nightbot is showing you that I am at 10 p.m. this week, I, I will be doing 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then after this week, I'll decide if I want to stick with 9 p.m. or if I want to go with or stay with my regular 10 p.m. So thank you, Granny. But if you see me not change it by next, well, Friday night or Saturday night, let me know. Because I will forget. That's almost guaranteed. God says it is an awesome feeling playing in the soil. I know, right? I gotta watch out though, because we have ants. And, the ants here really enjoy my soil. And so yesterday I was in there without the gloves because I do like working without the gloves, but a lot of times I have to wear the gloves because I'll stick my hand in, and then there's ants, and then that's painful. So yeah, but they were out there. I thought because it was still pretty cool outside that, they weren't going to be an issue, and they weren't a huge issue. But yeah, they were out there. They were all over my beds. They'll get much worse though, so it was like nothing. Greetings, greetings. Yeah, hard work when you have to move 5 bags of compost, right? God's desire, I can't remember. I think you have land, right? I know that you want a homestead, but I imagine that's going to be like a lot more or bigger. But have you tried making your own compost? We initially started making compost several years back, but we did it in like wood beds and like way out in the back of the yard, and the termites like destroyed that bed. And then when I moved, um, I didn't know that it had all the termites, right? But then when I moved, when I used some of that compost in my garden, there was termites in my garden. And which, I mean, they left because those beds weren't made out of wood, so that was okay. But I don't use those anymore because of, I don't want to put termites in other places. But we started compost. We got 3 trash cans and put them out there. You got to make the holes in them and everything so that the worms can come up from the ground, and you water them and stuff like that. But all like our junk, not meats or dairy, but everything else, all of our scraps, especially scraps, because I mean, we give the chicken scraps, but the scraps that are not chicken worthy, or stuff that goes bad, we put in those trash cans back there. And so I don't remember how many gallons they are, maybe. I don't know what a typical big trash can is, but so I have 3 of those. And so it doesn't fill my whole garden with compost, but it gives me some really good compost to for my beds. I still wind up buying compost, but I have three three big trash cans. I mean, it's a pain to move it from the back all the way to the garden, but we don't move the trash cans. We put the compost into the wheelbarrow and then we take it all the way to the garden and do all those trips. But it's free and it's scrap, so yeah, it works out really well. And so we've been doing that. This is, I think, those trash cans. I wish I would have done a video on it, but I think this will be the 3rd year that I'm using compost from back there. And Granny says, oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure it was right for you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Granny says ants are the spawn of Satan. I know, right? They're so bad here. Well, I mean, you're in Mississippi, so they're probably just as bad there. They're terrible. I've shown videos before of my beds, how they're just like, it's like a nightmare. They're just like crawling everywhere. Like, it's terrible. I have a kitchen composter and I have 2 compost bins outside. Okay, good. I'm also making compost tea, super stinky. Yeah, I like my compost tea. Do you make yours with banana peels, or just what do you make yours with? Granny says I take all my kitchen scraps every week and add water to it in the blender and grind it all up and throw it into my garden. Do you find that um, critters come and like dig up your garden like after like that smell? So like the compost that I have in the back, the 3 trash cans, they have those lids that like like the raccoons and the possums can't pull up, because if I was to you know, put that back there without it, the animals come and dig it all up. But that's, that's a good idea because then you're just doing it as you go, you're not having to haul things back and forth. So I'm curious about the animals. Sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, depending on how much there is. Yeah, that's normally what, because I just normally keep like a big coffee can and I put all my scraps in there, which um, I really should just put them in a bag and put them in the freezer because that helps once you freeze them. It breaks down the structure and it helps them decompose faster. So I probably should do that before I put them in the back there in the compost bin. But which blending them up, that would definitely work a lot better actually. So that's a really good idea. But yeah, I normally just fill up that coffee jug and then like I don't know, it's probably 1 or 2 days because they do get, it does get smelly when you open it to put more stuff in and then go put it in the back and bring it back in, wash the container, it's a cycle. But I add my coffee grounds in there as well. So yeah, just Granny says, me and Poppy play Ant Wars. We take a shovel full of one ant bed and put it on another. And you should see the really? That's a thing? They fight to the death. Oh no. That's just how everything that didn't make it from the garden, everything that didn't make it from the garden and eggshells and kitchen scraps. It goes into the compost. Yeah, I find that homemade compost is really good. It's like, I like the fact that it's free and it's homemade too. Granny, I don't know if you were here. Well, you've been here, but I don't know if you heard me when I got 2 beds done yesterday, 2 garden beds. I worked on 2 garden beds. I'm so excited about it. And then when I get off of here and get my cabbage in the roaster, well, I got to cut it all up and do all that. But once I get that done, I'm going to go work on another bed. You probably heard it already. I'm so proud. Granny says, no, I've got a fence so possums and armadillos can't really come in. I haven't ever seen a raccoon in the yard. There might be a squirrel or two. I have found occasional mini oak tree growing in there. Yeah, we get I find little pecan trees. Little pecan trees growing in the garden. I think it's so funny. But we don't have like the yard is not fenced in, so I just have the garden fenced in just to keep the critters out of it. But it's just fencing um that I got at Tractor Supply. So we just wire. Is it? It's not chicken wire, right? It's not chicken wire. It's, I can't remember what it is, but it's something stronger than chicken wire, but just, it's not wood or anything like that. And they still get in. It deters, like the bunnies can't go in, so it keeps them out. But other things get in there. Really nothing stops the squirrels. And I mean, you'd think I'd have a squirrel sanctuary out here. So many of them. They used to get in there with my chickens and eat their food, so we had to um, and chase my chickens around, like scare my chickens. I'm like, no, you can't do that. So we had to get more wiring with smaller holes so the squirrel, because we were keeping out the big things out of there, but the squirrels were still making it in there. And I think like mice can still, like smaller mice can still get in there. I don't remember what the size of the holes are now, but so that's good. Then that nothing bothers yours. I like that idea. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Like when I put you know how they sell the organic fish fertilizer in, like at Walmart and stuff like that, the big gallon that is so smelly. When I put that out there, the stray cats go digging. You can see all the soil all messed with. I guess they're looking for rotten fish. Like I don't know. I'm like, y'all stay out. Guys, sorry, yes. And Granny says that is definitely a thing. I know getting those garden beds done is a huge sense of accomplishment. I wish I could get a little further in mine, but because the storms this weekend, we couldn't do a whole lot. Yeah. You know how I did not know we were expecting storms, right? I thought it was all to the south, and then I was doing my live, what was that, Saturday night? And remember, I was like, that wind is really blowing, that rain is really coming down hard, and all that. Yeah, we had tornado warnings, we had tornado watches. The wind got up to, I think it was like 60 miles per hour. Um, I got pictures that I need to post when I do that, my garden video of the big tree that fell, and then the near here on this road, the power company has a power station, and they were out there like cutting it, I guess, to get it out of the roadway at like, I think it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. It was so loud. Like I woke up like, what in the world is going on? And that's what it was, that huge tree had fallen into the middle of the road. Thankfully, it didn't hit anything. No one was injured or anything like that. But yeah, it was bad. And so I guess it took a turn because I don't think we were expecting any bad weather. I've just been chatting. I need to, what did I do there? No, I did that one already. Okay, let me do that one again because I've been talking and I stopped paying attention. It's You have field fencing or you have wood fencing, right? I had a really bad squirrel problem until I got cats. Yeah, see, I have inside cat one. I don't have outside cat. Although one there is plenty of stray cats around here, but that doesn't stop the squirrels. I mean, like, it does not stop them at all. I mean, you'll hear them making noises like they're in the tree looking down, like making noises at the cats, like trying to get them to go away, you know? Um, but the cat gets tired and the squirrels still live here. You know, they have like their little nest in the trees and yeah, and there's a lot of them. Every time I use the fish rope, I get flies really bad in my garden. You know, it's supposed to be so good and I have quite a lot, so I don't want to like get rid of it, you know, but yeah, it seems to be a problem. I would think that they would dig in with like the bone and blood meal, but they don't seem to bother that. They're, mm. I said I'm gonna sit here while I drink my coffee, and so that I can drink my coffee, relax, and then go get started on everything else, you know, and do the live while I'm sitting here. And I've been busy talking and crocheting. I need to count. I think I don't want to work on an extra row. I might be already where I need to do a color change. Let me count that real quick. Okay, so this is the last one before a color change. So I think I'm going to finish this one and get off of here. And I haven't. I've only drank a little bit of my coffee. I got a late start. I mean, I'm drinking coffee at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's caffeinated coffee. That's not good, right? I drink it before it gets any later, so that I'm not up late. Y'all will be happy to know that my schedule has pretty much stayed good. My sleep schedule. Hopefully, it continues. Granny says, well, my Jules kitty is gone this year, so we'll see what happens this year. He was the squirrel slayer. Hmm. These squirrels around here are just, they're not good squirrels. They're the troublemakers. They're always getting onto stuff. If I put plants on, if I put, this is how bad they are, okay? If I put plants on the back porch, just plants, not anything Not anything like food related or anything like that. They chew it up. They dig and they chew it up. If I put anything on the railing, they knock it over. And like sometimes there's the one tree that has the nest, and I don't know how many live in there, right? But if I go out there in in the yard and like I'll sun back there, and if I put my chair too close to that tree, they will, I don't know what it's called when the squirrels like bark at you, but they will do that till I move my chair away. And it's loud and it's annoying, and I mean it's pretty scary. Like I don't want to get bit by that. Hubby says they make all that noise at me because they're just trying to like come out of the tree, and they're afraid because I'm there. But I'm like, I shouldn't have to move for them to come out of the tree, like, and they'll get closer and closer and closer and like just bark at me and like, ugh. So I try not to get close to the tree. Granny says, oh, it is so good. It just stinks and attracts undesirables. Yeah. Our wind has been blowing now for 3 days, pretty steady. I was going to paint the fence yesterday and stain the post, but it was just too windy to use spray paint. I was gonna say, well, that wind will help it dry up really quick, but yeah, if you're spray painting, no. Yeah, you went all out with yours. Your stuff is looking really pretty. We just did, like I said, that whatever that fencing is called. Um, I don't know the squares on it, or maybe like, are they 1 inch? No, they're not 1 inch square. 2 inch squares, maybe. Yeah, 2 or 3 inch, maybe. I don't know. Like that, maybe. Um, just I was gonna say cheap fencing. It is cheap fencing compared to any real fencing or anything like that. And then we just use, you got the nice wood post that we just used. Uh, Forgetting T-post. We just put T-post out there, and we didn't even paint them. We just left them in the regular color that they come in. So it's not the prettiest, but that's fine. It grows my food, and it keeps critters. Well, keeps some critters out. That was the goal. It keeps rabbits out and it keeps the groundhog out. The groundhog and his family. Granny says, uh, I hope it continues too for both of us. I did go to sleep a little later than I wanted to last night, but I woke up at the same time, and I think I'll take a short nap this afternoon. Oh, I don't know, Granny. Don't take that nap. Don't take that nap. That could be a start to something bad. That's the start to the cycle all over again. Because because you'll take that nap, you'll feel refreshed, and then tonight you won't be tired, so you won't go to sleep, you won't make yourself go to sleep, and there we go, right? But yeah, I do hope it continues for us. I know God's desire was trying to work on her sleep schedule as well. I'm not sure how that's going. And this is not going to be a long live. I know I'm at a little over an hour here, at an hour and 6 minutes. I was just going to do an hour, but I am going to, since I'm here already, I am going to finish these last few squares. Maybe another, I don't know. I don't want to give a time because I don't know how long it takes me to do a square, but I only have like that many, so like 10 squares maybe. I am going to finish this row though before I go, and then I have to go and get started on the things I have to get done. I kind of like these pop-ups though. I feel like you can just do them at any time, you know. New people may show up, you know, nobody may show up, but chance you take, you know, you still get some crafting done. If nothing else, you know, you craft. Granny says, then try to go to bed at midnight. No squirrel is a good squirrel. God says my sleep schedule is getting a little better. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. I don't know if you were in here. Granny got says Iris went and got some tomato plants and some compost, and she is going to work in the garden. I'm trying not to stress about it, so I'm just trying to just do a little bit at a time and just put some seeds out there, because I really was gonna like not do it this year. Like I was really considering that, and then I knew that if I allow that to happen, and I still haven't started any tomatoes and peppers. Y'all think it's too late for me to start any, right? With my freeze date being whatever yours is, God's desire. I think what's April 5th, April 7th, something like that. Um, it's too late to start them inside, right? I'm gonna have to get seedlings, or y'all think I still have? That's what. That's only like 3 or 4 weeks away. Which I wasn't gonna put anything out there anyway till at least the middle of April, because that way when it does get cold, you know, especially for the lemons. What am I thinking about? Lemons. The peppers and the tomatoes don't like it. So I was gonna wait till like the second or third week in April anyway to put them out there. So that would just give them like 4 or 5 weeks inside. My we're using cattle panel and landscape timber for the post. Yeah, I can't wait to see it all done. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave it like that, but that's where my color change is going to be. Because I think we've got it to this point, and I think my next step is there's going to be more brown, but then it's going to come the lace, the football laces. So I think that's what that next row is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's the rows. Let's see what we got here. We're using caravan on the post. I just had to have a strong fence to keep the dog out because he's so destructive. Yeah. Our fence is not that strong, but I mean it keeps, you know, it definitely keeps dogs out. It keeps, you know, most things out. And I don't know how far we have the T-post, maybe every 4 feet, maybe 4 or 5 feet. I don't know, something like that. Sarah says, great job, Jackie. Thank you. I know it's coming along nicely, right? Because I'm going to start the laces and then the other half. So yeah, I'm going to finish it a lot quicker. Well, if I continue to work on it. Because if I set it aside and, you know, put it aside and don't work on it for a while, then it won't get done. But I'm going to work on what I have to do, and then I'm going to come and work on it again. Just because I don't want to be rushed, and I'm enjoying making it, so that's a plus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Granny says, you know me too well, Jackie. That's exactly how the cycle begins, right? It is exactly how it begins. Exactly. Ooh, Goddess Desire says, I'm trying my first knit shawl. How's it coming along? I folded it up. I don't know why. Oh, because I was going to get up. That's why I folded it up. I'm about to take it apart again and start all over. Oh no. It's probably like you think it's not good according to your standards, but it's probably coming along nicely. I went ahead and got my color change in so that I don't oh no, what did I say? Oh, I'm so glad I did not cut that yarn because that was the brown. And then let me look at the pattern because I don't I'm so glad I didn't cut the yarn. I was fixing to, but I think there is more brown still, and then the laces come in later. Let's see. It's times like this I wish I had a printer so I can print out this graph because it's in two separate pieces and I can't see what's what, so I'm not even going. It's definitely not a color change, so I'm glad I did not. The color change is going to come on later in the row for the lace. So put that back. I'm glad I did not cut it. I mean, I could have just tied it back in, but so I'll have to look at the chart a little bit more carefully to see how many more brown, because there's no words, it's just a graph. so that I can see how many I actually have to do in brown before I switch over to the other color. Granny says, I see all you folks doing your gardens and I feel so far behind. Don't feel far behind. You did zinnias and you did your sunflowers, right? Even if it's just in the grow bags, that's still a lot. And I mean, I guess you have the greenhouse, right? So you can start some stuff in your greenhouse so that they'll be growing before you actually put them into the bed in what, like another week or two? Behind, I just ordered some sweet potato slips and some cucumber seeds, lemon balm, cilantro. Oh man, I would have sent you lemon balm and cilantro and cucumber. Oh, I would have sent you candy roasters. I have so many candy roaster seeds. Have you grown them before? I think I have a video on my Living More Simple Lives channel that I think, I don't remember, that has, maybe it's a picture on Instagram, I don't remember, that has hubby holding like our some of our candy roaster, North Georgia candy roaster harvest, and they're so big, so beautiful. Fingers crossed by the time it all gets here, the beds will be put together and ready to go. Putting the beds together goes by relatively quickly. God says your garden will be going real soon, Charlotte. Yes, it will. And God says, I want to grow the candy roaster. I may go ahead and plant it. Like, get it in the ground? It's too soon to get it in the ground, right? I ask you because you have a lot of experience. Because I normally don't put my squash out there till after the last frost, and sometimes even after that, because they like the warmer. But the vine borers are gonna come and they're gonna get it and they're gonna destroy them. So I need a solution around that, which I was thinking to start them inside, but they don't like to get transplanted either. So I'm gonna start them in the greenhouse and then transplant them. Okay. I may do that. I may do that. I may not even go work on that. No, I do want to work on that bed out there and get my peas in the ground. But I was also thinking, this is where I start overwhelming myself. I'm also thinking because I have like a section in the garage that I have like with plastic. So I have a greenhouse, a greenhouse that I have in the garage, um, with shelves in it. Um, and that one stays really hot. So I like to use that. But the shelves are not like that far apart. They're, I don't know, like a foot and a half maybe. So, and normally my squash and tomatoes and peppers grow relatively quickly. So I have another one, a big shelf, and it's more of a storage shelf, but it's one of those industrial ones. So the gap between the shelves, I think, is like, I don't know, it's pretty tall. Um, and that's the one that's all like plastic in to like just create that warm environment because the garage gets really cold. Um, well, not probably not now because I mean normally I start things out there in like end of January, beginning of February, so it's probably warm enough that I wouldn't need all that. But anyway, what I was saying is I was going to start that bed outside with the peas, but then I'm thinking I want to go ahead and start the tomatoes and the peppers and the squash inside. And since I'm far behind, well, I'm far behind on the peas as well. So see, there's the dilemma because I can start them in the garage. But you know what? I can work in the garage when it's dark outside. So I think I'm still going to start on the bed out there, get the peas, and then do the other. But see, you've motivated me, God's desire, to go ahead and at least try to get the squash started. All right, guys, I don't want to keep you any longer. And I'm almost done. And she says, yay. And I'm almost done with my coffee. So I got to go work on that cabbage and then go work on that garden. And I don't think I'm going to record anything in the garden today. I may take some pictures as I work along and then just kind of put a few of them together for like a short or something like that. But I'm not going to worry about videoing anything just because I need to get it done and not worry about, you know, making things pretty and presentable and stuff like that. Granny says, yeah, I did plant my flowers and some munching onions in the grow bags, and I have 2 more grow bags that I want to plant something in, but I'm not sure what yet. Hmm. What gallon? What size are your grow bags? 10-gallon or 20-gallon? I planted some, I don't know if you have uh, container cucumbers, but those grow good in the grow bags. And I had a couple of grow bags last year with cucumbers, and they did well actually. You'd be surprised. Grow bags work pretty good because I have 2 fig trees out there, and they're small. And um, I don't know much about fig trees, and I think this is the 3rd year. I got them the first year. Yeah, so this is the 3rd year, and they have little green buds on them now. But I don't get very many figs out of them. But we put them in grow bags. They're in, I think, 20-gallon. Yeah, I think it's 20, 25-gallon grow bags. And we only get a few figs out of them. And I think it's something that I'm doing wrong because I don't know anything about figs and I've watched videos, but I don't know where to prune them and stuff. I talked about that a little bit on the video that I did this weekend, but um, the figs that come out of it are really good. They're so delicious. But the tree grows, you know. Granny says no, but I've seen them grown before and I know they get huge. Yeah, so I in my grow bags last year I did some peppers, some r- not not this past year, but the year before that I did tomatoes in grow bags. And what I found out with the tomatoes in the grow bags was that I did an experiment where I planted tomatoes in the grow bag. I think it was a 20-gallon grow bag. And then I planted them in just one square. Well, I gave them 2 square in my garden bed. And for whatever reason, the ones in the garden bed did so much better. They grew so much bigger than the ones in the grow bag, even though the grow bag had, more soil, like the height in the soil, the height, and then the big around, because the 20 gallons is, I don't know how big the diameter is, but it appeared to be more space than what my square foot gardening bed had for the tomato, but the one in the bed did so much better. But in the cucumber ones, the cucumber didn't seem to care because I put them up against the fencing and, they vine out. And I guess the cucumber root just doesn't need as much root. Maybe that's the deal. The cucumber root doesn't have strong roots like the tomato, because the tomato roots, they just go wild. So the cucumber ones, they they grew fine in the grow bag. The tomatoes did a lot better in the actual garden beds. But I did cucumber in the bag. I did tomato in the bag. I did um, I've done radishes in the bag. Um, oh, what else? Oh, and peppers, like the jalapenos, the bell peppers seem to do better in the bed than in the grow bag, but the jalapenos don't seem to care. And maybe this year I'll try habaneros in the bag to see how they do. Just because my habanero plant spreads out a lot in the bed, and so like I have to give it more room than the one square I want to give it. So I might try those in a grow bag and see how they do. But yeah, you can grow a lot of stuff in the grow bags. Um, I've seen them. Candy roaster needs 100 days. My intention is to plant them around the 1st of August, so they'll be ready for Thanksgiving. Yeah, but you'll still have the borers, right? The borers will still be around in August. Granny says the only thing I'm worried about is the vine boring. Yeah, exactly, because in August we get a lot of those pest pressures. Yeah, that's why I want to start. I think I'm going to start them indoors. Even though I did start them indoors last year, but once I moved them and I messed with the roots, it stunted them and they didn't do good. And then I guess they were weaker, and the vine borers got them. So yeah, that's why I tell myself almost every year I'm not going to grow squash again because of the vine borers. But I want to grow them. You know what I did? I did grow cusha, but I only got like one big cusha squash. I grew it in a grow bag, and it vined and it was doing really well. And then the the borer got it, but I've been putting netting around the things just to keep the borers from getting in there. And I'm hoping that when I'm moving all my soil around, that I'm killing any of the larvae that they leave behind. Because a lot of times, you put the netting over them, right? Over your plants to keep them safe. But those borers, well, the larvae is already in the ground. And so you putting the netting is not doing anything because they're coming from the ground, laying their stuff. And Cat Cesar says, I use a lot of grow bags. Granny says, I bought some sugar snap peas this past weekend and some kale. They were having a sale, or I wouldn't have bought it at all because I have plenty. We always need more, right? I'm going to start mine in the toilet paper rolls so I don't disturb the roots. They're rude. They get big so fast, though. Like, I feel like if you start them if I was to start them in the toilet paper rolls today, like, I feel by the time I put them out in 4 weeks, like, that root would just, that would be constricting it. Am I wrong? Because I have a lot of I keep the toilet paper rolls, to start seeds in. God says the same thing happened to my cushion. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? And those are not supposed to get affected that much with the vine borers, but they don't seem to care, right? They're 20-gallon. Yeah, so you got plenty of room. Oh, you also have 50-gallon. Yeah. So the stuff that likes to get really big and grows big roots like tomatoes should do fine for you in the 50 gallons. So you can start planting now, Granny. But well, you can't because you want to do it outside and your tomatoes, it's too cold for your tomatoes right now. I know we're in the middle of conversation, guys, but I really have got to go because I've got stuff to do. It's been fun chatting with all of y'all. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to spend time with me. And I know we all have things to go do, so I don't want to take up any more of your time. I hope that each one of you has a wonderful and blessed day. Granny, I will see you at your live tonight. And again, thank you all for spending time with me. God Cesaro says, have an awesome, productive day. Yes, you too. Thank you. All right, guys. See y'all later. Bye bye.